Welcome to our 2019 Daysix Trapline. We're super excited to bring this to you guys this year. Had a great response last year from you guys, the viewers, and we're really pumped to do it this year.
Yeah, and we're excited to show you guys a little bit more intimately what the property is. This is the same property that we hunt whitetail, and our season's over. It ended about a week ago, and we really try to reserve that time for hunting whitetail and this time for hunting our predators and limiting the population. So we're gonna get after it, start setting some conibears, start setting some DPs, some snares, and some footholds. We're excited for you guys to follow along with us. It's gonna be a great season.
So this place has proven itself successful most years, especially when it warms up and the coon and the other small game start to run, coons and possums. And so we set this little section here with the conibears. These are the 220s. So we're gonna set that there, and we got some natural sticks here to prop it up. And making sure those whiskers are on the outside of the trail, so when they come through, they're more committed and farther through the trap before it trips.
Well, it was here. That's good. Still loaded. And I still got my whammy, my little setting pin here. Should just be an easy reset. So yeah, still preserved a decent load. So I shouldn't have to strip it again. Let's see if we can get this on here. Curious if you guys use wire whammies, the plastic ones. I'm a little partial to the plastic, but the wire ones work just as well. Here we go, a little bigger than my hand. Nice and low to the ground. Got my little guide sticks here. That's pretty much just about it.
So we're finding the snow's making it a little difficult to locate some of the snares that we just zipped off and threw down. We're just having to look for where we tied them off to. We are following some yoke tracks here on this trail here that runs alongside the CRP. And we got one snare set back up. We're coming up on our plot 2 that we talk about. And yeah, we're still following these yoke tracks. I'll show you guys. We just keep coming up on sign, guys. And they just happen to be
right where we have
snares already.
traps.
We're pretty much walking the same line we walked last year. But I feel like we've already seen like 10 times the sign that we saw last year.
This is like an interstate right here of just pure Yodi tracks. But they're also coupled with deer tracks, and we don't like seeing those two together.
This is day 2, first check day. Not really expecting to have anything in our conibears or our DPs, as it's really cold.
There's something up here. Yeah, there's something up here.
Is it really? Where at?
Oh, it's just the grass. Dang it! You see what you want to see. I mean, you can't see that.
You said it was moved?
Yep. Looks like a deer bumped it. We try to put it in a spot where there's no clearance issues so the deer can walk straight through, and we don't want to catch them.
So this is where we caught our first yote last year. Snare still in there. We just haven't set it yet.
This is also the one that we had turkey tracks going into, and we took a poll, and the audience agreed, go ahead and set it for a yote, and we caught one.
I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but there's a yote track in our track from yesterday. So they're traveling this backside of the peninsula, and we didn't set anything over here yesterday. So we've run out of time today, but we're gonna hit it again tomorrow.
It is already day 3 on our 2019 Trapline, and it is so cold. We are very expectant that the puppies were running last night, and hopefully we've got something in a foothold or a snare. Yeah, I don't know what else to say right now. There's a deer. So, as Adam and I the past few days have been walking up and down this path, we can see a lot of yote activity on the path. And so we're trying to think, how do we catch them diving into the woods, going under this fence? Or what we're gonna do is pinch them down onto one side of this lane, tie off to a pretty substantial tree, and then funnel them over there just ever so slightly with a stick or an obstruction right in the path, and we'll catch them as they're passing through. So that's the plan. Dang, that hurt. Ow, that hurt too.
Alright, starting the line here on day 3, no, day 4 now. Walking around, got our first conibear around this bend here. Somebody's honking at us.
Yeah.
Hey!
Coon!
Alright. First for the season.
The first fruits of the Trapline.
Alright. So, chances are, caught that one, things are warming up a little bit. Chances are we could catch another one today, whether it's a coyote or a coon. So, something else we've really enjoyed so far this season is using this new pack from Outdoorsman's. It's pretty easy to access all my tools with the tripod pockets that are on both sides, as well as plenty of space pockets on the outside for bait and lure. So, and also, I'm carrying about 50 pounds on my back, and the only time I really notice it is when I go to stand up. You don't really feel it back on your back. When you go up, you feel it on your legs. Something else I forgot to mention was this pack's got a scabbard for our rifle. So last year we were having to carry it everywhere, and that's one feature that I'm really liking this season.
We've only got about 3 more snares left on the line to check, but we're hopeful. 2 of those are going to be a road set, where we've guided them over to one side of the road and have the snare there, and trying to be as subtle as possible so it doesn't look like a full-on obstruction. And then we got 1 more snare down along a peninsula where we've had some pretty good success as well. So always staying hopeful, and well, there's no other way to do it. End of day 4, and we've struck fur for the first time, and that motivates us all the more to get some more sets put in the ground, more snares hung, and keep doing our job to manage these predators. So, not a bad start to the Trapline, man.
No, it's pretty good. I'm super excited about it. Day 4 and we already got fur. That's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, with all this snow and it's still pretty cold, we weren't expecting too much to move, but we got some coons scurrying around, and one of them happened to fall into our trap.
Yeah. At the end of the fleshing process here. Pushing that fat right off the end of the coon. I think we forgot to split the tail. We need to split that tail. This is a, what is it, a Weeby knife?
I forget.
I think it's a Weeby.
Yep.
Basically, yeah, it does a great job. That's something that we really noticed. Made a huge difference.
A good knife.
Was a knife.
Yeah, we might want to strip that. Strip it down. I'll see if I can do it left-handed.
You got it. There we go.
Lay that all open. Give it a scrape. A little wonky here.
We're trying to get to our parking lot to start the trap line, and we've run into nothing but roadblocks. Semi-tractor trailer went off the road. These guys here are just lollygagging along. So
Are they harvesting or something?
yeah, right.
Harvesting the snow.
Harvesting the snow. We'll get there.
What are you gonna do?
Getting ready to head out here on day 5.
Suiting up.
Getting the coat on, getting the chaps on.
Yeah, the amount of snags, pulls, tears, and all of my good pants is coming to an end this trapping season. We're gonna make sure we're covering with some brush guards, baby.
Got a little bit of rain today going on. Got some slush. The cat food that we're using as bait in the DPs is probably soaking wet. And we'll see if our footholds are flooded out or not. I wouldn't think so. It's not that much rain. It's just kind of sprinkling, but we'll see. No fur today.
No fur.
And
Oh wait, yeah.
Oh, we did. We doubled up.
Double up.
Yeah.
This thing's producing.
2 days in a row. Yeah, boy. All right. This is day 6.
Could we be tripling up? I don't
Let's
know.
see. Walk around the corner here.
And
Dang.
no such luck.
Not today.
That's okay.
Empty today. Yeah, it's getting in the way. Can we pull it to one side? Yeah. It's stud. You wilderness athlete, you.
That's right.
All
It's like
right.
ankle rubbing.
Clear path. Not gonna get my gun stuck anymore going underneath this tree.
Widowmaker.
Sweet.
Doesn't it look like a deer rubbed on that?
Oh yeah, it totally does. We are encouraged. We're seeing some yoke tracks here along our first main trail, and we've only checked just small game traps so far. So we got all of our canine sets left and our snares. Fingers crossed.
So we just followed some really fresh tracks from up here on the top of this hill down the path, came right down here, and then cut in right through this trail. Should that dog had continued another 20 feet and made its way down the next path, we'd have one in a snare. So we're probably going to set this location too, just to cover our bases. That spot back there is where I caught my first coyote on a snare. And it was definitely an alpha male. Huge dog.
Yeah, he was
huge.
Oh, nothing in this one. Dang, man. So lots of good sign coming up out of this woods here and going straight across one place where we didn't have a snare in this section of woods here. Kind of a wide open path. So they went right up through there last night. So we're gonna reset here on Day 6. Dude. First dog.
First dog, right over here.
He
Just came from a snare where the pup ran right through it. Might even be the same one, I don't know, but didn't escape this one. Trying to duck a fence.
Yeah.
Super pumped.
Dude.
Day
High
6.
five.
Day 6.
Day
What
6.
is
What is
up?
better than that?
What
Getting
is
one
up?
on day 6.
6.
Wrapping up week 1 here on the Trapline. Super excited today. Saw tons of good sign. We took our first coyote today, as well as another nest predator. So for this week, we got a coyote, 2 coons, and a possum. And
Did we mention this is day 6?
this is day 6. We'll see you guys next week.
I do it!